Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, innovating, amazing, spectacular, wondrous Propagandacaster. Me, your host, Imperial Dane, the one, the only master of propaganda. Your king of kings, your vox populi, your beacon in the darkness, off here to a 1v1 on Crossroads. Oh, actually not Crossroads, this is Kholodny Ferma. And east it is, JX Quay. I'm just going to call them JX, like, you know, that's really what I can remember anyways. I'm not sure how to pronounce the rest of it anyways. Versus the west of this Caosak fighting here for the Red Army, the Soviet Union coming and starting here with counterattack tactics featuring the K1 heavy tank, shock troopers, recon overflight from Mother Russia and the B4 howitzer with double mine half. Is it a half track? Yeah, it's the scout car actually, not the half track. Fighting here for that Red Army force with the 7th Tank Corps. Versus in the east here we got Jaeger Infantry from JX with the ambush training. Jaeger Light Infantry upgrades, the Jaeger Command Squad, Light Artillery Barrages, and these two are close air support with triple infantry. Gunnery MD42 there for JX, double comms there for Caosak. So we're off here to the races, and always a big hearty thanks to my paid supporters, these champions, these heroes of the Propagandacaster, keep me supported through thick and thin. You too can join their heroic ranks by pledging on Patreon, go just donate. Links are in the video description. I'll let you know, comment, like, share, subscribe, press the bell button. In the north, we got Gunnery Spring Forts here for JX. In the south, MD42 Pioneers advancing. Sandbags there on the cut-off point. Third contour there for Caosak. So both players obviously got a strategy right off the bat here, at least some degree. Obviously, infantry focus. Jaeger Infantry very popular due to the command squad, I think, in part, and also the air support ability. The G-42s can be handy. Personally, I still think German infantry is quite good, but obviously it doesn't have you Grenadiers be harder to kill. They still have the 50, still will get more firepower. I still think it's a fairly good one, but that's just me. Countering towards the cuff point here. Caosak, meanwhile, obviously shock troopers, maybe B4 from Mother Russia, and the K1, so it's going to be obviously about some really big, nasty assaults here. Countering about here. Second lane's got around there for JX. We got Pioneers, the more sandbags in the south, very consistent sandbagging. Though he needs to defend his cuff point here. Otherwise, it get a bit awkward here for the Germans in the early game. Johnny's going to deal with the counters there as Caosak just looks to disrupt here his opponent's early game, and so far having a fairly good start out. Machine them about here, they're flanking behind the conscripts, catching them off guard. Nice work there by JX. Thumbs up. One can use there for Caosak. And there go conscripts sent packing, but there go conscripts flanking the MD42 now. It's going to need support for that MD42. And also needs to get his car point back. We got the 3rd Gunnery Squad there for GX, and we got the 2nd Unit Squad ready here for Caosak. Hey, fine, there we go. Conscripts getting killed there on the MD42 and then backs off behind the hedges where they cannot be shot at. And he's moving forwards here. Gonna take some losses there, but there we go. It's a first kill. There we go. Second, actually, this is surprisingly working out well there for GX and Caosak, retrieving without getting a single kill down there. His opponent's Gunners, in fact, takes another console. That was an engagement. I definitely would have figured the Gunners were taking the first loss here, but no, in fact, they took no losses. That's impressive. That said, I mean, they're both in negative cover, so the Gunners could just get the heads off first. I mean, there's certainly a chance there. But yeah, I was a bit surprised here. And scrolling up here, back at base tech there for GX. So far, fairly standard openings from both sides. Machine headed aggressively for the Germans. Going to push for the car point. Nice aggressive play there, centered around the MD42. Thumbs up. Of course, need to keep the flank secured, of course, make sure they don't get the machine gun into any trouble. Medics done for Caosak, very good. And these MD4 troopers, the engineer squad team, got constant flanking the MD42. I believe here, Mr. JX will let you retreat, and constant can go for the car point again. Just always with the pressure there with the car point here in the center now secured as well. And that's a secondary car point, if you will. He needs to also grab that one to cut off his opponent's resources, but still. So 3rd Gunnery's got running here. Gunnery's going for the cut-off point there to defend it against the Soviets, and South Engineers versus the Pioneers. Teleman's being laid down here. Really busy work here, but GX, lots of things going on. Handling it so far nice, and we get a Panzer Grenadier squad. Thumbs up here to JX and the Germans. The Panzer Grenadier squad, of course, adds some nice punch here as the Soviets. Some very nice punch here. SJX and the 1st Panzer Division strikes ahead. The MD42 Grenadiers reinforcing. Panzer Grenadier squad almost done. As for Caosak, nothing further there really going on at the moment. And no further events transpiring. Except just mass retreats almost. Hey, where are you guys retreating? Oh, we need more guys. Oh, okay. Wait, what? I thought we were winning. Oh, we are. We just need more guys to win more. Oh, okay. This was the counters there. MD42 moving in again here. Going to go for another push there. Northfoot spawn. We got the Panzer Squad spearheading another effort there. Not too shabby. No upgrades yet there. No ambush camouflage. I think that's going to be a nice upgrade here for Mr. JX. Of course, might be he's planning like machine guns or more telemines. I mean, he's already laid down one set of telemines. More telemines would certainly not be a bad idea either. Support company up there for Caosak. I'd expect a field gun. The longer term, getting a maximum and more type would also, I think, be a very good addition here for Caosak and the Soviets. Panzer Squad, they're going straight for the car point. Boldly going. Obviously, having an assault rifle does help you be a bit bolder. Panzer those engineers. There you go, get Bandeladnung. You just need to be careful. Other loss there, but they do manage to dodge the bundle grenade. And the Panzer get pushed off, but they have nonetheless hit the car point for once. It is JX that is hitting his opponent's resource. And there goes Shock Trooper squad out here for Caosak and the Red Army. Car point hit again. They're really just consistent harassment from Caosak. The Shock Trooper certainly could add some extra punch here with their PPSH-41 submachine guns, their grenades, and their body armor. There's what the conscript up north. Like to make a nice company up. And then a bunker here for JX and the Germans. I expect an armored car. The 222 like to punch a speed wagon. And I imagine Caosak's probably going to consider pushing fast for a T7 here versus JX and the Germans. Would certainly be a good idea there. Mine spotted. Bit rubbish there for him. And there you go, 2-2. Like to punch a speed wagon. Conscript needs up this up north. We got mines here in the cover, so that way if JX moves in and tries to use the tractor here as cover, it's going to blow up in his face. Forcing up his shotgun front and the M42 getting suppressed. They can pop a smoke grenade, but they are nonetheless still suppressed. Machines them to reposition. They're going to get into the heavy cover, at which point the M4 is going to have a harder time dealing with them. Plus, in this case, they get unsuppressed fast. So once more, JX finds his car point and fuel point under threat by the surge. I mean, Caosak is just incredibly consistent and efficient in this. Panzer Squad moving out there, bit of healing and enforcement going on in his base. Caosak is instant enough not taking up his JX yet. That is a small relief here for JX. I'm coming in, they're trying to push the surge off the fuel point. At least by some time there for the 4-star arrive and assist. Smoke grenade off here. Clever here by Caosak, but he just timed the smoke. So he can, of course, use attack round, but that's a lot less accurate firing into the smoke. A lot less accurate, so nice play by Caosak. The fuel point has been in neutral, and once more JX finds his fuel supply in disarray. North Ace make a bigger push here. Engineers taking on losses here, being pushed back. Mine hit, 2 grenades down, further slowing down there. JX assault in the north. Still on attack though here from Caosak. MG42 good to go. Well, once more. Pioneer space in the southern fuel point. I mean, he could consider laying down some S-mines around here. Jaeger command squad right now, got a big gradient, and there we go. Pushes another infantry squad, putting more pressure on Caosak that way. Tank command finally up for Caosak. And now the big question is, does he go for T7? Very likely, but he could also go for the mechanized armor company and try and push out a fast T-34 from 6 here versus JX. But a T-70 fast right now, of course, would still be, really good. Make no mistake. It would be really good. Norfolk is sitting out there for Mr. JX in the center armored car dealing with the country there behind heavy cover. In the south we got the punishment for the southern munitions. Cover crumbling under the auto-cannon fire of the armored car. Season light tank here for Caosak. Ultimately as expected. But again, there was that opportunity to maybe just try and push for the fast T-34 since 6. But, can't fault him for going for the T-70. It is really good. Even nerfed, the T-70 is really good, which really should tell us something about how good the T-70 was before it got nerfed. But it's still really good. It's still worth going for like 2 off, like multiples, even if you lose the first one. Shock 2 is pushing back the Grenadiers here. Nothing further going in the base there of JX. South the armored car pushing forward for Deutschland. Going to need to fix it up. They're close to one on that. Like the punchy speed wagon. Shock was holding up here. Back in the base, the T-70 arrives here for Caosak and the Red Army. Comlet Stalin wills this tiny terror tank forwards. Going to bring forwards here, specifically the command squad. There's port here of the MD42 providing backup fire they need. Either more armored cars or pack for to deal with this, since it's got no telemines down now. Lost the Grenadier squad. I believe up north. Good kill here, and there goes shock troopers to wipe them out. Probably with a grenade down on the retreat or an advance. Either way, they're dead, gone, kaput. Excellent kill there for Caosak, and that's only further pressure and mounting horror here for JX and the Germans. Pack 40 filling up here, obviously going to be using that to deal with the T-10 plus any further follow-up armor here from Caosak whenever that happens. Troops reinforcing healing. Machine being pushed out. Yeah, command squad holding up here. Hoping to ambush the enemy, but sadly not quite finding that the development to actually kick off. Back here, armor car being fixed up. Pack 40 almost done here for Mr. JX. Yeah, command squad aiming for to find out the conscripts. Up north, we've got the Panzer squad going for the northern fuel pump. We've got a shock troop squad there ready, blocking the way. Sturmgewehr versus PPH-41s. That said, the shock troops should have this one because then they're tougher and they got, well, they also got grenades, but they're just tough. They can soak up so much more damage when they also got 6 men. There go bang grenade, but that's just a waste of munitions. And almost cost them the Panzer squad here, so that was definitely a bad call here. And there go back to get swapped. Huge blow there to GX at this moment. Didn't just lose a grenadier squad, but a Panzer squad to the shock troopers. I mean, they've definitely paid themselves off. Now here for Caosak, easily anything beyond this point is just pure profit. If, killing people was a business. Troops reinforcing healing. Sisterly visual field gun there for Caosak. Obviously provides artillery support, but also anti-tank efforts. GX definitely going to want to go for some Panzer soon enough, but I think at this point just pushing out for some armor is very much the correct choice as the Wehrmacht. Usually most of your strategy is going to be centered around the Supreme Corps, getting up Panzer Force, Austrians, Stugs, depending on the situation that way, dealing with your opponent, as it's very much, the core of it, alongside, infantry in MD42 when well handled. Close finish on that MD42, by the way, very good here for GX, and even with the losses stuff, he's still managing some momentum and some pressure against Caosak, so even with those losses, he needs to be careful with his infantry. I mean, he's definitely doing something right here versus Caosak. Oh, right there, though. Definitely pushing the armored car too far. Almost got... He gets the T-70, though. That's pretty big. He may lose the armored car, but an armored car for a T-70 is a very good trade. That's very good business, if your business is blowing up tanks. Armored car, they're gaining ready. 2 Jaeger command going for in there. Armored car down. So the infantry falling back to the defensive position. There you go, another Panzer grenadier squad here for JX. Very good, thumbs up. Definitely needs some more infantry to put pressure there on Caosak. He just needs more mindful of it. Good mine here by from Caosak right on the corner. Going for the fuel point. No, cancels it. I mean, can't fault him because once reinforces all the troops, but part of me is a bit disappointed. Just a bit. Now, will Caosak try and take up? Here we go for another T-70. Again, you see in these situations, getting certain players lost a T-70. Depending on the timing, they could consider another T-70 to make up for the first one. Then, put more pressure on the opponent, make it hard to just push for the Panther 4. And this timing, I mean, there's an argument for both. There's an argument for both here, I think, for Caosak. But considering the timing, I think it's sort of slowly more tilting in favour of, trying to go for the mechanized armor company himself. Though again, the field harassment is exerting his opponent is still incredibly efficient here, so that could maybe leave an opening there for a fast second T-70, though that could then get countered by possibly a fast Stug or fast Austrian here from JX. We shall see, of course, what he goes for. More like to go for the Panther 4, but he won't be hit by fast T or secondary T-70. You could consider those 2 options, fast T-70. A second T-70 is not a fast T-70 unless you're somehow messing with the time-space continuum. Mechanized armor company here for Caosak, so there we go. No second T-70. Machine gun north here, no ambush camouflage still. Bit of no ability there. Yeah, he could go for an Austrian, he's likely going to go for the Panther 4 though, the safe choice, the middle ground that can deal with infantry quite consistently, but also deal with armour and isn't too exposed. Then there's nothing wrong with say some Stugs and some other stuff. Yeah, command squad counter out of the centre. D-43's counter-case was the most against the conscript. There you go, Molotov being hurled through the windows. Peg opening up the sandbags. I imagine you're going to try and wreck the cone that way, making the contrary easy target for the command squad. Good work there by JX. And there you go, mechanized armor company ready. Can soon go for the T-34 from 6. Meanwhile, GX gets ever closer to the Panther 4, the mighty Panzerkampfwagenfear. Guns being suppressed here. Actually not suppressed, but it's here 5 light machine guns. 2 light machine gun wielding grenade squad probably can do a lot of damage. Particularly into conscripts. Artillery barrage called in, I believe, up north. Oh, and the machine gun hits 99 to his opponent to ensure they don't run off the machine gun. Did get a bit punched for extending it in a hostile situation. There you go. Artillery barrage ultimately completely whiffs. Going for another machine gun to replace the one he lost. Good. Panther 4 halfway done. And Caosak could go for the T-34 from 6, but he has gone for counterattack, so why not go for the K1 heavy tank? And that will likely have to force, JX to consider some stoogs here as to help deal with the K1, because the Panther 4 does not trade favorably with the KD1 heavy tank.
We have 300 points remaining.
I'm just moving about. And it's certainly worth noting the K1 has become very much a large part of the Soviet meta landscape now. Very commonly being used increasingly. We've got rifle or even counterattack tactics, as it's quite tough, can serve up a lot of damage. Well, the T-34 stuff usage, of course, to get people with airborne troops. It's not like, it is the meta, but it is rather prominent. Rather prominent. Panther opening up in the church.
Our territory is falling into enemy hands.
Adding the pin-mounted MG42 there to the Panzerkampfwagen 4. Always a good choice there to add into the other 2 machine guns, which were MG34s, by the way, since they had a low rate of fire and thus were less likely to overheat, but could also fit in better due to other devices there, elements into the Panther 4 chassis and other Panzers, really, including barrel change if it became necessary. Though they actually had like thicker barrel shrouds to make overheating a bit tougher. So, fun detail there. An additional fun fact about the internal machine guns of the Panther 4, the crews would actually have a kit, so they could actually yank them out of the tank and then convert them into like light machine guns to use if they had to abandon the tank. Fun fact. Shoots, misses the field gun. Quick hit there, gun this one to support with the LMG-42. Some mortar here for GX. Very nice. 2 thumbs up. On a map like this, a mortar I think is always a good addition. And so many players I think end up neglecting mortars, usually to their own detriment. So we'll have to see if Caosak will also go for mortar himself. Though of course, he could go for the B4, which is obviously is not a mortar, but what it makes up for in a lack of accuracy, it makes up for just sheer explosive firepower and terror factor. K1 heavy tank on the way there for Caosak. Panther's about to get knocked out here. Bit of rubbish. Pathing there by the Panther. No, Counter Squad retreats. Woo. Holy smoke. That was a close call there for the Panther. That was incredibly close. Mortar in the centre. Firing away there in the name of Deutschland. Feeling there being almost cleared up with the MG42 crew. Decent hit on the Counter. We have an upgrade to the 4-man or the 7-man squads. No, 4-man squads. That's a bit of a silly mistake there. Troops reinforcing healing. Panther being fixed up. Mortar needs to get out of the way. And we got the K1 almost on there for Caosak. Northern point being seized by the shock troopers. Panzerkampfwagen being impaired. Note this particular camouflage scheme, by the way, this red and white, like is painted by the Lollipop Guild, is actually due to sort of a late 1944 resort where basically they ran out of like the typical camouflage paints, and so what they would do, I believe, at the factories is they just apply what was meant to be used internally in the tanks, because Panzers were basically white and red inside, and use that to trying to create a camouflage pattern. There's certainly several attempts to improvise camouflage patterns using whatever they'd have at hand in the later war. So, little fun fact there about the Panther 4, the particular vehicle scheme here. MG-14 northwards, bit risky. Definitely should use ambush camouflage. You're going to use it aggressively like this, I think. That's going to at least make it a bit harder just for the opponent just to walk up and shoot to bits. K1 heavy tank ready here in the south for Caosak and the Red Army. Mortar firing away, they're half 8 veterans to 1. Ground northern point with MG-42. No ambush camouflage. More mines here from Caosak. Thumbs up. Another Panther for JX. He hasn't seen the K1 yet, so he doesn't know he has to worry about it. He is currently blissfully unawares. Shock to take it from the Panther 4. Machine guns, main gun, just blazing away at the unfortunate infantry out in the open. causing further casualties. 3 men ultimately found themselves torn from the very bosom of this earth. K1 moving about there, goes going to spot it. Will he stick to the Panther Force? Will he go to Pack Stoops something else against the K1? Panther Force see it. One fails to penetrate. The other one goes through, damages the engine, and turns it into a fairly inefficient toaster engine. Tossed anyone? Oh goodness, Dimitri didn't use the engine for it. Well, you know, it's nice and hot. It tastes like terrible crap. It tastes like engine oil. Which is like, still not as bad as what we normally get, but you know, it's not healthy. Penfold gets got in the machine gun there. Does commit to the second. Penfold doesn't cancel it. Perhaps use Court and Terror, just deciding, you know, 2 Panzer Forces versus K1. That's my kind of groove. We shall see, of course, what it is. But anyway, second Panther ready here for JX. Now the Pack 40, the Panzerabwehrkanone 40. K1 needed repairs. Fun fact, the K1 was usage throughout the entire war. The KV series, the K1 that would be slowly replaced by the KV-85, which had a more heavily armoured turret, bigger turret, and then used the 85 in the gun. It was sort of meant to be, shall say, the bridge between the KV series and the IA series of heavy tanks. And those KV-85s were pretty much the usage until the end of the war. There were other attempts to make the KV series more relevant. You had the K1S, which lightened the armor to make it faster, but then they realized they just made an even more expensive T-3476, which was also much harder to maintain, at which point they kind of realized this isn't working. So B4 Howard here for Caosak, going to go for the sledgehammer approach of North Aim 200-gram Northern Munitions. Of course, worth knowing the T-3476 was also fairly expensive to make. In the south here, we got the Jaeger Infantry with the shock troopers, and the south here, he's pushing back the conscripts, dodging the grenade nicely. And the shock troopers try to dodge the Panther 4, but Dimitri, sadly, and Yuri were not fast enough, not agile enough. So B4 almost down here for Caosak. Massive house, which I believe was primarily designed actually for, you know, fighting an urban warfare base. They meant to blow apart fortifications and strong points and whatnot. So, little fun fact there. Machine gun there, good to go. Still could do with some ambush camouflage, and you know, JX could still do with a Panzer Grenadier squad. But the mortar's a nice pick here, even he's like, you know, not making full usage of it yet. He's caught here, Pat pushing them back. Great hit from the K1 in the Grenadiers, forcing a retreat there. North Panther 4 behind the conscripts, backed up by Pioneer Squad there, second Panther 4 nearby as well. B4 waiting for the right time to strike, to unleash its very deadly payload. Double packs here on the K1 heavy tank. B4's going to shoot, I imagine, on the packs. And there you go, tree shattered. The squirrels occupying the tree completely obliterated, and 2 Germans dead. But for the squirrels that in that tree, that was pretty much the end of the world. That was Armageddon. They had offended the great squirrel god, and he responded with his wrath. Anyways, let's go in the center there. K1 then being neat of being fixed up. MD4 2-gram northern point here. Apparently got 3 kills, so that's a bit better, I suppose. Consoles the Grenadiers there. Mortar firing away here. Need to remember to use the barrage ability though. Sandbags ruined before they can be finished. Comes getting these levels out of the church, comes engaging back up again commands when of course we can not and alpha. B4 shoots. Jaeger got taking further losses. If there were somehow still any squads to manage to survive the first shot, they must surely be dead now after that one. Burnfall getting better one that takes a hit on the conscripts. Nice shooting there. Nice shooting. Packs holding up in the south here. Shock was falling back. Caosak probably going to go for another K1 heavy tank here. Another Panther 4 for JX. He's just going for the Panther 4s. JX has concluded that quantity has a quality of its own. Panther 4s running through the south here. Grants on the victory point. We got 272, so 332. Mines there from Caosak. Very nice mining. Thumbs up. Third Panther almost on there for GX for Germany. Deutschland. Looks like he's lining up for some sort of push here with the Panther being landed for deep flank. Very nice. 2 thumbs up if that's the plan. Now the K1 heavy tank there for Caosak. B4 getting ready for the next shot. In fact, it is ready for the next shot. Mines being laid down there by Mr. Caosak. Comes going to 5 on the Panther 4.
Enemy forces are attempting to capture our territory.
Well, they got the building. Possibly some other things too. Panther rushing through the side being caught. He looks like he's going to go for the assault. We got, there we go, 2-pronged attack. 1 Panther taking the deep flank, the other going for the mid route. And then we got the 3rd Panther 4 ram going a bit more centre as well there. Nice 3-pronged Panther push. They need infantry support here to make this really work. Definitely disrupting here Caosak, as you know, you can't just easily stop them all at the same time. B4 being caught by the 1 Panther 4. Might even have been a distraction from the other 2 tanks just as used to take out the B4, in which case, that is some really deep thought here by GX versus Caosak. It certainly seems like Caosak is struggling. But there you go. Gets the K1 there. Panther 4's down. Need to finish off the B4, but still gets the B4 and the K1 with these Panther 4 just for the sake of 1 Panther 4. That's pretty good there for GX and the Germans. And definitely bad here for Caosak. That's definitely not the kind of trades you want to make. Almost got the field gun there. Still needs to deal with the B4. Merging there, very nice. Lack of in support. There is a bit of a problem here for GX, but definitely this attack better. Damage taking the both Panther 4s here. Need to finish off that B4 at least. Gonna need a round here. Pack 40 as well there. Got the field gun. Pull back the Panther. There you go. Packs opening up. Got the field gun. B4's going to fire though. Need to stop it fast before it's too late. Scheiße. Panther wing forwards here. There you go. Cleared out the B4. Artillery called in just to make sure that thing gets blown up. Artillery fire raining down the infantry wing forwards, but it's too late. The B4 is shattered before their very eyes. K1 going for the Panther 4. There you go. Panther 4 route. Almost got the other K1 though. There you go. Caosak's had enough for Mother Russia. The men's handed an extra batch of vodka and told to move forwards. The vodka inuring them to the bullets and thus making them slightly harder. And of course allowing to fight harder. K1 they almost knocked out. Brutal losses on both sides, but I think GX might have come slightly ahead on that one. Simply caused a bit more damage. It definitely caught Caosak off guard with that really daring Panther push. It was risky. Had Caosak had more mines, it would have been dangerous without infantry support to properly support the tanks. But in this case, though, Caosak had failed to line down sufficient mines, in which case GX was not punished. Then he's being routed here. K1 need the repairs, but so is the Panther 4. Actually, this dude's an anti-tank grenade. He's got an infantry nearby. No Panther was able to rush in, but he's actually not been using the sprint ability, which is definitely no side. There we go. An hoorah here, few depleted constant rushing force. Their hands clenching the anti-tank grenade, ready to chuck it at the Panther 4 and finish it off.
Engineers ready for assignment.
We got 229 versus 324. Mortar keeps flying away there. We got 1 kill and veteran 2-1. Definitely needs to remember to use the barrage ability more. Like, you just allow the mortar to auto-fire. It's gonna not get a lot of kills in. It can get some kills in, but you really want to remember to use the barrage ability on your Granatenwerfer. Shock troopers moving forwards here. Machine gun opening up here on the shock troopers. It should be. There we go. Catches them. Of course, getting caught by the mortar as well. Do get a smoke screen here. Just getting ready for another push. I'm guessing going to go for another Panther 4 here for the sake of Deutschland. Mortar them about. MD4 tooling up here. Up north, we got the lone Grenadiers moving forward with LMG-42 in hands. 31 kills in service of Das Reich. Bit of quiet there. Mortar machinery repositioning. Got another Panther 4 there for GX as expected. Caosak's K1 heavy tank is finally repaired. The blood's been cleaned out. And the ammunition's been reloaded. Got northern point with the Grenadiers. Machine holding back. We got the double packs in reserve. Panther 4 halfway down there for GX for Germany. Deutschland. Mortar repositioning. Did actually use the barrage in this case. So Caosak had already moved away from the point, probably expecting a mortar barrage to punish his men for, you know, standing out in the same place as there might be an artillery target. Cotton Force there go in the centre. Cotton be caught. Engineers get caught with info 2. We got the info to the office using incendiary pistol rounds there. 2 thumbs up to Caosak. Great uses there. He's actually using it before the German player uses the ability. And the German machine crew is getting absolutely torn to bits here by the Soviet MG42 crew. Needs a mortar there. Mortar smoke on it soon. 2's being suppressed on both sides. Could try and pop incendiary pistol rounds of his own. Mortar there go flying away there. Trying to silence now the Soviet MG42. And there you go. More incendiary pistol rounds took down to reload. And there you go. Mortar hit there. Kills. Picked it off. Crunch there suppressed by the M42 up close. Does he pop into the RPS rounds himself? No, despite his opponent making good use of it, he decides not to use himself. But there you go. Mortar crew does pause with the machine crew there. More pioneers for JX. Up north here, Shock has been grabbing the point here. JX's infantry overstrained, but so to a degree is Caosak. The least still has one more infantry squad. Second pioneer squad, since to replace the one he lost. Panzer to deal with him. We got 226 versus 309, and Caosak's going for another K1 heavy tank. This could be a bit of a problem there for GX with just one Panzer in 2 packs there, depending on how Caosak makes use of it. There we go, though, managed to ambush the pack K1 there somewhat with the packs here. Shock was going for the Panzer IV. Great hit there, down to just 2 men who decide they've had enough and pull back for more reinforcements. K1 halfway done, further catches here on GX. I'm thinking the south, the unit perishes. It's the Jaeger command squad. As a stinging blow here to GX and the Germans. Constant charging the light machine grenadiers. Going to possibly chug a Molotov if they can survive for long enough. As the light machine grenadiers, they're doing heavy damage. Mortar fire laying down there. Snuffing out Ivanovic. Mortar there with 3 kills. Vecchi 2. Panzer IV ring back. They're flanking the K1. Packs keep firing away there. Shots planking away. Panzer IV blocking the movement of the K1. Opening the pack. Falls up to finish it off here. Does they get a finish off shot there? And oh, they get it off! But the second K1's almost done. The Panzer IV suffers a damaged engine. Artillery fire called in. I think to try and deter the Russians from pushing forwards. But I don't think it's going to be enough here. The conscripts don't care. The engineers don't care. At least Caosak doesn't care. They may care, but Caosak sure as hell doesn't. Panzer IV, they're being hauled back. K1 arriving here for Caosak. Mortifying in the centre. Conscript push back here. We've got 226 versus 309. Panzer IV shoots away there. Jaeger command squad out here, fresh replacements for the one blown to bits by the Soviets. Panzer IV there, trying to somehow navigate all of these very angry socialists with anti-tank grenades. And more crucially, that tank that's inbound. And there you go, Panzer IV down, leaving Caosak now with armor supremacy, 1 K1 heavy tank. Machine gun there catching the MG42. And he's pushing back constant engineers. He's going to have to, I think, consider the studio. I don't think another Panzer IV is going to work out here for Mr. JX. And he's flanking the MG42 here with the light machines. We've got the K1 there. We've got the Jaeger command squad backed up at least 1 pack 40. Might be time to target Civic point. Nice shot there. Machine gun team wiped out another blow there to Germany. Deutsch, the machine setting up a quick clear up, but the grenadiers, if they fire away now, both ace level machine gunners there could do some damage enough. Panzer past the K1, pushing it down to half health. Machine crew, they're almost taking out. Packs opening up there, and there you go. Caosak forced to pull back the MG42, doesn't risk it. More shots firing there. K1 desperately trying to haul itself out of there. Jaeger command squad, grenadiers, packs being hauled forwards here frenetically by him. We got for Mother Russia. Caosak dealing out another load of vodka, once more inspiring the men, or, you know, inebriating the men, so they forget about such conveniences as the Germans have guns. Going to be caught here, they get wiped out. God in Himmel, with this, JX surrenders a victory for Caosak for the Red Army. Brutal, close, but in the end he committed too many Panzer IVs, and I think at times played a bit too risky of his infantry. Those infantry also, I think, proved to be crucial here, as Caosak did not suffer those wipes and slowly able to turn the game around to his opponent. Really good play there on both sides, but in the end, Caosak just played a bit more steadily there. So GG, also, you know, should have gone for some Stooks, so just all these Panzer IVs. But there you go, GG, game over. Hope you enjoyed this match. I learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it, tell friends, tell family, to channel me. This is Imperial Links and cheers. Thank you for watching. I'll see you tomorrow again for a nice episode. Bye.